Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. I'm Amanda, and today I want to share with you all of my unread middle grade books that I have on my shelves. So if you hear banging, I apologize. My kids are downstairs working on a project, so I don't know if you can hear it or not, but they are, I think, trying to get something out of a clay chunk. So they are working on a science project, and so I'm just letting them do that. But if you hear the banging, that's what that is. But anyway, since we are in middle grade March, I thought I would share with you all of the books that I currently own that are middle grade that I haven't read yet. There are a lot of them. I love to read middle grade. I am a sucker for buying middle grade books as well, especially thrift stores, library book sales, that sort of thing, because they're cheaper, because they're children's books, and because they're just as good. So I have a lot. These are all of the books that I own for myself that I have bought because I want to read them, not because my kids want to read them. So my kids have their own bookshelves of books that they have because they want to read them. These are my books. There's a lot. So also, as we get into this, I don't know a lot about some of these. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. But if I know something about it, I will try to share briefly about it. But otherwise, I'm just going to try to go through these as quickly as possible because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. And there's a lot of books laying around here. So let's get into this. The first one on my stack, these are not in any order. They are not organized. I'm just going to go through the stacks. So the first one I have here is Home of the Brave by Katherine Applegate. This is about a little boy from Africa who comes to live in the United States, and it is told in verse. So that's all I know about that one. The next one I have is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind by William Kapkwamba and Brian Mueller. And this is a nonfiction story about a boy in Africa who, I think it's like during a drought, and he figures out how to make a windmill to provide water for his town, I think. So anyway, that's a nonfiction book though. The next one I have here is Violet Rains Almost Got Struck by Lightning by Danette Haworth. This is one that a subscriber recommended to me a while ago, and I have no clue at all what it's about, but it's a subscriber recommendation, so I nabbed it when I saw it. The next one I have here is The Incredible Magic of Being by Catherine Erskine. This is another one that I know nothing about. This was a cover buy from a thrift sale. I love the cover. No clue what this one's about. So if you know, I'd love to know. I also have here Frog Kisser by Garth Nix. This is one that I got that was like a special deal at one of the book sales at the kids' school, the Scholastic Book Fairs at the kids' school, and I think it's a retelling of the Frog Prince. But the cover was really cute and $2, so you know. I have Harriet the Spy by Louise Fitzhugh. This is just the classic Harriet the Spy. It's about a little girl who, I think it's like kind of mystery. I don't know. I have The Mouse with the Question Mark Tail by Richard Peck. This is one that I just found at a thrift store, and I really don't know much about it. It kind of looked similar to The Tale of Despero. On the back it says, the smallest mouse in the palace holds the biggest secret. He just doesn't know it yet. So it kind of reminded me of The Tale of Despero. So I thought it looked cute, and I grabbed it. I have here The Tiger Rising by Kate DiCamillo. This is just a Kate DiCamillo that I found that was in pretty perfect condition, and my kids love tigers, but I haven't read this, and I heard this one's it might be a little intense for younger kids, so I want to read it before I hand it off to my kids. I then have here, I have 3 of the Artemis Fowl books. I have the other one is on my middle grade March TBR cart. I am not showing you anything that is on my middle grade March TBR, just so that's clear. Even though I haven't read some of these, I'm not adding them to this list because I'm hoping to read them soon. So, but I have books 2, 3, and 4 that were not on my official TBR cart that I own of the Artemis Fowl series. I have A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I can never say that name. And this is just a classic about, I have no idea what it's about. I'm not even going to pretend. It's by the same author of The Secret Garden, though, so I know that. I have a classic here, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I think this was my mom's old book. I have had this book for forever. It's a very, very old edition, and I love it. It's actually the movie tie-in edition. from the old animated movie of it. And I've never read it. So that might be something that I need to rectify sooner rather than later. I have Pippi Longstocking by who is this by? Astrid Lindgren. This is an illustrated edition that I found at a thrift store. This was in one of my thrift hauls a while ago, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. I've been wanting to read it out loud to my kids, and I just haven't. So I have that one. All right, let's move another stack over here in front of me. I have The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I have no idea. No idea. This is translated, I think, from the French, and this is a classic. No clue what it's about, though. Cartwheeling in Thunderstorms by Catherine Rundell. This was another cover by that I got from a library book sale. And this, I believe, is about a girl who lives in Africa and then goes to live at a boarding school in London. And it's about her transition from Africa to London and like living in the like jungles of Africa to living at a boarding school and her transition to that. I also have Winona's Pony Cart by Maud Hart Lovelace. I participated in the Betsy Tacy read along last year, and I didn't finish it, but I got like 5 books in and found this at a thrift store, and so I grabbed it, but I never actually read it as part of the read along. So I should probably do that, and I probably will. I've heard good things about it. It's really short, and I did like the Betsy Tacy books that I did read. I then have my Roald Dahl books that I haven't read yet. So I have a couple because I have a big Roald Dahl collection, but I've read a lot of them. So I have The Witches, I have The Giraffe, The Pelly and Me, and I also have The Twits. Oh, sorry about that glare, guys. I have a window back there that just is not friendly to shiny books. But these are 3 Roald Dahl books that I've never read, and I don't really know much about them. I then have Newbery medal winners that I did not get to when I did my Newbery reading like extravaganza at the beginning of the month. And the ones that I have not gotten to yet are The View from Saturday by E.L. Konigsberg, Island of the Blue Dolphin by Scott Odell, The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin, and Out of the Dust by Karen Hesse. Those are 4 that I did not get to when I was reading all of my Newbery books earlier. I have Chains by Laurie Halse Anderson. I have heard so many wonderful things about this. I really, really want to get to it. I think it has to do with the Civil War time frame, I'm thinking. But I have not read it yet. All right, and then I have The Candy Makers by Wendy Mass. This is another one that I found that just looked really cute, and I haven't gotten to it yet. It is about candy makers, I think. I take that back. I think it's a competition. They are competing in a national candy making competition. Who will make a candy more delicious than the oozing Crunchorama or the neon yellow lightning chew? There's some sort of candy competition. So it kind of reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a little bit, but it's kind of a chunker. I have not read it yet though. All right. All my books are like clear over here, so I gotta pull them back in, rein them in. All right, I have Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins. This was the same author as The Hunger Games. This is a fairly extensive, I think, series, and I got the first book, but I have never read it. I've heard good things about it from the people that have read it, though. I have The Chocolate Touch by Patrick Skene Catling. I think this is kind of like Midas's Touch, where whatever he touches turns into chocolate, maybe, but it's very, very, very short. So that might be a read aloud with my 5-year-old, or my 6-year-old now. I have The Lions of Little Rock by Kristen Levine. This is one that I've heard fantastic things about. It's set in 1958 in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it is about 2 girls who are being separated, I think, as like segregation happens. Maybe, I think one of them's white and one of them's African American. I don't remember, but I know it's set during that time. I have The Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. My daughter read this in school, and we've watched the movie a couple of times, but I've never actually read the book, and so I thought that I would grab that to read. I try to read the books that my kids are reading in school. I try to read them as well, just so that I can talk to my kids about them more. All right, I also have Sparrow Road by Sheila O'Connor. This is the same author that wrote Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth. She's actually a local author to me, so I found this at a thrift store near me, and I have no clue at all what this is about, but I loved Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marsworth enough to buy it. Stuart Little by E.B. White. This is about a little mouse. I know that. Never read it. Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. This is the novel of that the movie is based on. I've heard that this is quite different from the movie though. Classic book. I have a couple Christopher Paul Curtis books that I have not read. I have read Bud Not Buddy. I read that in February, but I also have the like sequel slash companion to that, The Mighty Miss Malone. This is following one of the characters that we meet in Bud Not Buddy. And then I also have The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, which he got a Newbery Honor for, and I've heard fantastic things about this book. It's about a family that I think goes from Michigan down to Birmingham on a road trip in 1963. A classic that I have owned for quite a while and never actually read is Alice in Wonderland. I have this beautiful edition that has colored illustrations in it. They are beautiful. I love them. Never read the book. So it's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. So I have not read that though. I also have another Kate DiCamillo, Raimi Nightingale. I think this is the first book in the Three Rancheros, her series. This is brand new, and it's a signed copy of it. But I got this at a thrift sale or at a library book sale for like $1. And I've heard wonderful things about it, but I'm not 100% sure really what it's about, other than it's about a girl named Raimi Nightingale. I have another book by Owen Colfer, who is the author of the Artemis Fowl series, The Supernaturalist. This, I think, is a sci-fi, but I have no clue what it's about. So I have that. I have The Castle Corona by Sharon Creech. This is the same author as Walk Two Moons. No clue what this is about. It just looked really cool and really fun. So I grabbed that. And then the last ones that I have here are books 1, 2, and 3 of The Kingdom Keepers. These are like Disney, like they're like mysteries maybe about these kids that get locked in Disneyland after hours, and like the villains come to life, I think, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of my understanding of what these are about. So I have the first 3 books in that. Disney After Dark is the first one, and then Disney at Dawn is the second one, and Disney in Shadow is the third one. So these sounded fun. These were a recommendation by a subscriber for my kids. My kids aren't super into Disney. We've never been to Disney World, and I don't know if we really ever will go, to be honest. We're not like huge Disney fanatics, but they do enjoy that kind of stuff, so they might read those someday. We'll see. I nabbed them for them just in case, but they also kind of just sounded fun, so I might read them. So anyway, those are all of my unread middle grade books that I own. There's more coming because I just bought a bunch because Book Outlet is having a sale and I have no self-control. And I can't go to all of my library book sales got canceled because they're all in April, and April got canceled this year. So I instead spent all my money at Book Outlet. And I spent it on all middle grade books. So there will be a big haul coming soon. But yeah, if you've read any of these, if I need to prioritize any of these, obviously I want to hear your comments down below about all of that. And yeah, other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.